Hello, welcome to the weekly Soulprint Pick Your Crystal readings. I'm so glad you're here with me today. This is for the week of June 12th through the 18th. Thank you for being here. And I would like to remind people that should you wish to have a private reading, the information is in the drop box below. You simply need to send me a quick email to soulprint888@gmail.com and I will send you out the information that you need. Alrighty. So this week's crystals we're back to pendants for this week. So we have this beautiful Lorimar, which is this lovely light, sort of tranquil blue color. Absolutely lovely. We have a crystal angel wing. Okay. And we have the deeper blue, the Cigalite. So, I'm sorry, this is Lapis. My mistake. Okay. So, and quiet, take a moment. And don't forget, you may resonate with one or two, or sometimes even all three. And of course, if the message doesn't resonate with you as you're hearing it, perhaps come back to it a little later on in the week, or simply choose another crystal that may. Okay, hopefully you've picked your crystal. Let's get started, shall we? So we're going to start with this beautiful light blue, just Lapis. And what do we have here? These are actually really lovely cards, the story that they're telling. So here we go. So you have the Fool, you have the Eight of Wands, you have the Queen of Cups, and you have the Well. So the Fool is about, taking a chance, a leap of faith. Sometimes it even might feel that you're being a little wee bit reckless. Or perhaps it's just time to shake up your life a little bit and bring in some new energy and bring in some new elements. When you determine that it's time for you to take that leap, you're going to discover that events start moving very, very quickly to bring that together for you. So there could be increased, communications. There could be messages coming through, but it's a rapid development or something evolving quite rapidly. And that's, it may even make you feel a little bit kind of, oh my goodness, should I make the right decision? But the reality is sort of this. With the Queen of Cups sitting here, you are talking about compassion, understanding. You're talking about just, kindness and gentleness. You are talking about a very emotionally comforting and sort of mothering or nurturing energy. And that's really important because it's followed by the Well. Now, for those of you who may be new or have never received the Well is as a card. The ethereal decks that I use or Ethereal Visions by Matt Hughes has two additional cards, two additional high arcana cards. One is the Well and one is the Artist. So the Well is about kind of opportunity and creativity. It is said sort of to be the birthplace, if you will, of ideas. It is inspiration. And it is transformation. It is about wisdom and knowledge and understanding and clarity that flows freely and comfortably to you. So, what this is talking about, the story these 4 cards are talking about, is that it may very well be time for you to take a leap of faith, jump into something new, find a new path to walk down or add a path to walk down. When you make that decision or when you sort of come to terms with what that area is and make the decision that, you know what, it's actually time, I'm going to start manifesting this. I need this event, this experience, this opportunity in my life. Once you do that, you're going to discover that things are going to move quite rapidly for you. There's all of a sudden going to be communications. There's all of a sudden going to be information flowing to you. And that is when it's time to just sort of take a pause, take a deep breath, and understand that you are functioning from a place of love and kindness, inspiration, and you have all of those elements, and they're coming together to create the element of the well. And of course, the well is about that newfound creativity, that inspiration, that, idea. And so it's time now to take that leap. It's time to open up your mind and your soul and your heart and your eyes to new communications, new ways of doing things, new ways of looking at things. Input from, outside you. And trusting that your heart's in the right place and what you're doing is not only nurturing for yourself, but to others. And then you enjoy the influx of the new, and you cherish it and you appreciate it, and you allow that energy to simply flow and be. Beautiful. Okay, let's move on to this angel wing. Okay, so you have the 5 of Wands, and you have the 9 of Wands. Then you have the 4 of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles. So, the 5 of Wands is sort of that, it's like a bickering energy, okay? It's not fighting, it's not great big wars and traumas. It's like bickering. It's like static, okay? And whatever is going on around you seems to be creating that sort of sense of like static. There's a lot of opinions flying around. Everybody has a lot to say about everything. And the 9 of Wands is asking you to kind of pull back a little bit and pull back sort of so that you don't end up in a really defensive position as much as you end up sort of perhaps in a bit of a protective stance. Because all of this static is really just, it's creating a sense of discomfort or unease. It is shaking your confidence. And so you're being asked to acknowledge the static and to move yourself into a little bit more of a protective posture. Sometimes that protective posture can be as simple as, you know what, I just choose to say nothing about this. I'm not going to engage in this conversation. I am not going to accept the premise of their statement. Okay? And it's really important because with the Four of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles following, it very much feels as if this situation is going to pass. Okay? And there will come a point and a time where there is going to be able to be more of a coming together, perhaps some sort of a celebration that kind of lets things shift from kind of the energy that was into a happier, healthier, more cohesive, more harmonic energy. And that's taken you to the Nine of Pentacles, which is really about that sense of sort of independence, self confidence, being very comfortable, being very kind of, at peace with the the place and the position you're in. The Nine of Pentacles also often will represent, um, financial success or some sort of material, comfort or security. So, whatever this is about, whatever this sort of static and bickering and kind of that kind of energy is about, the universe is sort of letting you know in its own gentle way that there are times that you engage, and then there are times that you be still or retreat a little bit or protect yourself so that you don't get wrapped up in kind of this bickering kind of energy. And it's letting you know that as you move forward, there's going to come sort of a sense of harmony or peace or of the components coming back together. And that is followed by this sense of independence and sort of success and being very pleased. This kind of cards sort of remind me of two things simultaneously. And of course, whatever it is for you, it is for you. But this sort of reminds me of situations where there is really like a family dynamic that has kind of really sort of careened out of control. This can happen, for example, if you're dealing with significant issues. Maybe there's like wedding plans going on. Maybe this is dealing with the estate. Maybe somebody is, looking to really transition in their life and it's causing static and everybody has an opinion. And then ultimately, it ends up sort of in this place of clarity and success. So, again, it could be any sort of issue where and sometimes this friction could be work related. It could be related to a grouping of friends, perhaps a group of people that you often associated with are just now sort of coming back together because of the COVID restrictions, et cetera, there was sort of a separation, and now coming back together, there's almost like a realignment, if you will, of personalities. Okay, but the message is clear: just keep yourself protected, step back a little bit if you have to, and know that ultimately things are going to work out. And please do not misunderstand the words step back and protected. Do not interpret that as becoming a doormat or simply going along to get along. That's not what this energy is about. Okay. Now, let's take a look at the Lapis. What do we have here? Page of Swords, Three of Wands, Death, do not freak out, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So, the Page of Swords can often be about delay. It can often be perhaps disappointment, perhaps things are not unfolding the way you hoped or expected or anticipated. And you have been kind of in a state or a period of kind of like it a little bit like a pause. It's like something got started, or there was an idea or a concept that you wanted to move forward, and it kind of ended up just sort of like it's like a waiting moment or the beginning of something, and then it kind of, I don't know, it's almost like it feels a little bit nebulous. It's like there's a holding pattern going on here. The death card is absolutely a blessing in this scenario because it's talking about that period kind of coming to a close and a new birth or a new cycle starting. So, is it possible that you have been disappointed by a particular situation? Maybe you've been looking for a job and you can't quite find what you want. Maybe you were, looking to take a trip or vacation or expand some part, or some area of your life, and you just couldn't seem to get everything moving kind of in the same direction at the same time. So the death card is saying it's now time, right? It's now time for this one chapter to come to a close so that a new chapter can begin. And the new chapter, because it is literally being followed by the Wheel of Fortune, is telling you that there is going to be, blessings that come your way. There is going to be abundance. There is going to be new beginnings that are going to take you, frankly, to a much happier place, to a place where there is like a new beginning, um, something that you were able to simply allow to move forward in a way where it feels like the wind is at your back and luck is on your side. There are blessings coming to you. And very often the Wheel of Fortune is sort of a little bit about karmic blessings or karma. But in this case, it really is about karmic blessings. So again, you've got this amazing situation where there was sort of this holding pattern, this feeling stuck, this sort of disappointment, things weren't coming together. Something's tried to get off the ground, you couldn't get it moving. Well, that time is coming to an end and a new cycle is beginning, a new time, a new birth, a rebirth. And that is going to bring the Wheel of Fortune directly into your space. It's going to bring you that energy so that in time, you're going to look and see that the delay or the wait or the pause was absolutely necessary, because had you rushed in or pushed against the resistance, you would not have ended up in this place of rebirth, new beginnings, and good fortune coming your way. Sometimes we have to take a moment and bless those things that would appear to be setbacks, but in fact, they're not. Thank you so very much for being here. I hope you have enjoyed the weekly Pick Your Crystal readings. Until next week, enjoy the sunshine in whatever way or shape that comes into your world. Bye for now.